All right, everyone, and welcome to Peachy Conversation. I'm Matt, and I'm with my good friend Brady here.
How's it going, everybody?
And this is the first installment of our podcast. And today we're going to tackle the question we're going to ask: what is the most embarrassing thing that can happen
To a human being or an individual?
to a human being or individual?
See, there's probably going to be different embarrassing moments for females and for males.
That is right.
We're not going to be able
to
speak from a female perspective.
On behalf of you females, but I will say embarrassment to a lot of people is not looked at as a very welcoming thing.
No.
As you know, embarrassment. I know a lot of people that, when I watch TV and it could be like, Impractical Jokers, man.
Oh, for sure.
I know people that can't even watch that show.
For real?
Because to them, the embarrassment just gives them this anxiety that they truly can't handle. Now, personally, I think
I love embarrassment. I love embarrassment.
That's right.
I love making people people feel uncomfortable, and you being uncomfortable is it brings you out of your shell.
It's all good fun, Who wants to just sit there and
don't be boring?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
It can be boring.
Now, I feel like to when we talk about embarrassment, it wouldn't be right if we didn't talk about our own embarrassment.
That is true. First off, I want to let everybody know I'm battling a little bit of a sickness. All right, so I'm not going to sound normal. So if I sound stupid, I don't want to hear anything about it. So
that's right.
Be all right.
Okay, ready? You want to take us first, man?
Well,
what's your most embarrassing story?
I don't have a most embarrassing moment. I have a bunch of just little embarrassing moments. I like to put myself out there. I like to be very vulnerable. I like to have fun. I don't care what people think.
And that's cool,
Yeah, I don't care what people think about.
That's cool.
I mean, of course, you don't want to be looked at as a bad kid or a loser or anything. But I like to have fun. I like to let myself just be out there. So one time when I was really little, I was in the mall with my parents, and we were walking. And stores will have no one really even goes to malls anymore. A lot of people do online shopping. So it's a whole new generation. But when I was little, we were in the mall, and stores that have those mannequins. They'd be outside the stores. They'd have clothes on them, right? We were walking. And we were walking past a Victoria's Secret store.
Don't get a bad feeling.
We were walking past a Victoria's Secret store. It had lingerie on, had a bra, had some underwear.
How old were you? Would you say how old you were?
If I had to put a number on it, say between 6 and 8.
So you're a child.
I'm a kid. I'm getting ready to be. I'm getting to the teenagers. I'm getting close.
Right.
Looking forward. The mind's starting to develop a little bit.
Yes.
So I'm walking through this mall. I'm with one of my cousins. Now I'm not very close. Outside of my parents and my grandparents, I'm not very close with my family.
Right.
So it's a very rare scene. I'm caught with my cousin at a mall, and we're walking, and this cousin's got the audacity to stick out her leg and trip me. And as I'm falling, I yank the underwear off of the mannequin in the middle of everybody in the entire mall.
In the Victoria's Secret.
I ripped the underwear off of mannequin walking through the mall. I got more. I mean, I could be here all day if you want me to.
What was the atmosphere like?
What's
your mom saying?
My mom.
The mom could not be happy.
Just disappointment.
Happy. That's worse.
Straight look on her face.
That's worse than anger.
You kidding me?
Oh,
we're in public.
Gosh.
You're yanking underwear off a mannequin. What's wrong with you, boy?
Did she think you did it on purpose?
No one saw the cousin trip me. They're like, "What are you doing? You just pulled down underwear."
Look at Brady pull down.
I didn't mean to, but it was incredibly embarrassing.
It happens, It
does happen. I got another one I'll share real quick. I was at my grandma's house. My grandma used to live in Zanesville. So I was at the house, and she lives on top of a huge hill. I'm talking the drive up to this hill is almost just vertical.
Oh my.
It was pretty bad. And I'd say I'm older. I'm older at that point. I'm probably maybe 10, 11, 12.
But still vulnerable.
Still vulnerable.
Still vulnerable age.
And I remember my grandma and my mom are like, "Hey, we're going to go for a walk around the neighborhood." And I was like, I got nothing to do. I might as well come. So I remember I was like, "Well, I don't want to walk. I'm a young boy. I get tired. I don't want to walk. I'm a little lazy." So I was like, "Okay, I'll ride a bike with him." Now, my grandma didn't have any bikes that fit my size.
Okay.
So
So it was an obstacle.
Oh, it was a whole ordeal. So the bike was very tiny. I'm talking like it had the pedal brakes, not even the handbrakes. No. It looked like, like when like clowns get out of the cars and there's like 8 of them and you're like, how the hell did they all fit inside that car? This is what it looks like. They're like, how does he fit on that bike? So I'm on this bike and it's got pedal brakes. I didn't know that at the time. No handle brakes. So I was like, that's going to be rough. I'm on this bike and they're like halfway down the hill by the time I get on the bike. And I'm like, okay, like, just catch up. Get going. Those wheels start moving. Let me tell you, they started picking up some speed.
Momentum starts taking it.
I'm like probably like 25% down this hill. I'm getting close to my grandma and my mom, and I'm like, all right, like I'm going pretty quick. Maybe I should pump the brakes a little bit because I'm not gonna be able to stop it.
Maybe I need to slow down.
And as I'm going, like I made a really big mistake. Like I'm looking and I'm like, there's no handle brakes. And these pedals are moving way too damn fast. I'm not going to be able to stop this.
So in this moment,
I'm like,
can imagine you're kind of concerned.
I'm like, I know I messed up.
Like, this was a mistake.
Like, I'm like, this is not going to end well at all.
Something's going to happen.
There's one way this is going to end, and it's me not on this bike anymore.
It's like that thing we talked about the other day where, like, you just know something's going to happen, and there's nothing you can do.
There's nothing you can do. It's like when you're jumping on a trampoline, you get bounced up, somebody bounces you, and you're just in the air, but like you're landing not on the trampoline. You're in the air. You're like, well, this is it. Like, there's just nothing I can do.
I'm gonna get hurt.
Like this is gonna hurt. This is not gonna be good. So I'm going and I'm catching up to him, and I'm like, all right, I'm slowing down, and I'm like, the pedals are like, they're like, they're zooming, right? Like they're going way quick. And I put my feet down, ding, it's just hitting the pedals, ding, ding. I'm like, oh no, like this is a no. This is not. I'm not gonna stop. I can't stop. And then you just hear. I go past my grandma and my mom. I'm just here, boom, and I'm just zooming right by me. I hear them laughing.
Oh yeah,
and I'm like,
of course.
Like, this is real funny, huh?
Yeah, it's gonna be funny when you get the ER.
I'm zooming right, and then so you go down this hill, you take a turn and another turn,
right,
and then I'm not even kidding you. There's a bigger, steeper hill. Like I'm talking like,
man, where you live?
I'm talking like this one is like vertical, and like at the very end of that hill is a house. So I'm thinking, I turn this first corner, and I'm like, I might have to bail because if not, I'm going down the next hill, and I'm going right through the front door of this house. They're going to go right through it. They're going to be eating dinner. I'm going to say, "What's up?" So I get around the first corner, and I'm like, all right. Then the second corner is approaching. I'm like, it's now or never. Yeah. Like it's going to be rough. I got to get out. And I'm like, I see my ticket. Out. I look. I see a ditch.
Okay.
I mean, the ditch is like, the road's here. It's like,
so you thought
it's a crater.
You might seek some refuge.
I'm like, and there's like I'm talking a big pine tree. I'm like, you know what? This is it.
Yep.
Let's
go time.
I'm like shaking. Yeah. I'm way too big. I'm shaking. I'm like, this is it. Here we go.
Vertical.
And I jerk the handles real quick.
Ooh. Fly off. Was it a fly off?
I'm talking, boom, like the front wheel hits the grass and like, the handlebars, like right in my stomach. Ooh. The seat, right up my butt. Straight up my. I'm talking like I felt like I was coughing like leather, like it was coming out, and I was like, "This is not good."
Not
I
good.
remember
Anyway.
my grandma and mom turned the corner, and they're just dying.
Oh, of course.
I'm like,
of course.
I just hope that they never saw it. At that point, there's just it's my reputation.
How long were you down?
I was down for a solid 5 minutes before they got around that corner.
I'm
just sitting there, laying underneath this pine tree. I'm like, this is the worst.
This is a bad time. This is the worst day of my life.
We've had some pretty embarrassing moments together.
We have.
Matt and I have only. We're sophomores now. We knew each other last year. That was our first year knowing each other. The amount of memories that him and I already have is, it's unreal.
It's bad news.
It's pretty crazy.
It's bad news. And we'll get into some of those, but I want to share my most embarrassing moment of my life. So I'm going to take a time travel all the way back to, I say 4th grade.
That's a rough year.
It's a rough year.
4th grade.
It's just, you're awkward.
It's like you're not too young, but then again, you're not a little kid anymore.
That's right.
So
it's not a fun year. So, For those who know me, or for those who don't know me, I'm 6'8" right now. I'm a large man.
I feel really tiny around you. I mean, I'm 5'10" on a good day, like maybe with some high heels on, but
we are at most point in our day.
So I mean, I see him. I mean, I post pictures with him, and people are like,
"That's right.
He's like 5'4". I'm like, no, not at all. He's just abnormally tall. Like there's no way a human being should be allowed to be this big.
It should be a sin.
It should be a sin.
Now, back in the 4th grade, I was as well, a tall guy. I was the tallest 4th grader, as you would expect. So we're out on a rainy day.
You at school?
At school, in gym class. I was at La Mandola Elementary. Playing kickball. Ball goes over the fence. So, I want to be the hero. So I'm like, hey guys, I'll jump over the fence.
How tall? Wait. How tall is this fence? Are we speaking? Because you're a tall guy, so maybe it's a little fence. You can just hop it.
It was not a big fence.
What is it? A metal fence?
It was a metal fence, like the chain link fence. Like the classic. So I'm the tallest one. I'm long. I swing my legs over, kind of climb up. Yeah, volunteer street.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a nice guy. Run down the little hill, get the ball. Everyone's like, "Oh man, throw it back." So I'm like, "All right." So I throw the ball back, and then as I'm climbing back over the fence, I'm like, so this is the fence. I'm like straddling it, getting my other leg over, and it was like I said, it was a rainy day, and I slip, and my pants get caught on the chain link fence and rip off. My pants ripped off.
Like you're just standing there in some underwear.
I'm in my underwear.
Wait, no. Everybody has kids. I know some kids when they were little wore tighty whities. Were you a boxer kid when you were little, or did you got some tighty whities on?
I probably was a tighty whitey.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty embarrassed to admit it. I was a tighty whitey kid.
That's how it was.
I mean, that's just you didn't have the option.
And I just remember I just flopped on the ground, and first of all, I was like bleeding because the chain just Wolverine clawed me all the way up my leg, the back of my thigh, and I was just laying there, and everyone's like, "Bah!"
Everyone just cracking at you,
man. And I remember I was just laying there, pantsless.
What were you just laying on the ground?
I mean, I was just filled with so much anger.
No, did you get? This is at recess, you said, right?
It's at recess. The whole school is out there. We all had recess together.
This is pretty wild.
Man,
so
inside.
Did the school give you pants? Were you?
I actually went home.
Were you like?
My mom was at work.
You went home?
I was at work. I called my grandma in there. I called my mom and she was like, okay, call me, Mom, So I was like, all right, I call her and I was just crying and I was like, my pants ripped off.
My pants are gone.
My pants are gone.
Everybody at school's making fun of me. I got my pants on.
Dude, I remember just boom, looking up, laying on the ground and just hearing
Well, I mean, you're like you said, you're a big guy. It's a big thud. Everybody looked over.
Lenny just fell down.
Oh, that's not good. So
it was bad. It was a bad day.
See, now I got another story. It's not my story. I was involved in the story. So it was at school. I'd say probably around the same age, probably 4th, 5th grade.
So another awkward.
Yeah, it was indoor recess. It was raining out. Indoor recesses sucked. They sucked. Awful.
Awful.
I mean, you never got to do anything fun. It was either a board game. You played that stupid football with the paper.
You fold it up.
Yeah, it's
what kind of recess is that?
It's awful. That's not what a kid wants to do.
It's not what a kid wants.
Not at all. We were in there. This is 4th, 5th grade. That's when guys start getting interested in girls. They're trying to impress all the girls.
Yep.
One of my friends was sitting at a table with all these girls. Mm-hmm. And he was kind of sitting on the desk, and girls were just sitting on the ground around him.
He's a playboy.
Yeah, he was trying to pull some.
He was trying
to spit some game.
That's right.
Little kid trying to spit some game.
That's cool.
And one of my other friends was like, "Nah, I'm not having it. I'm gonna be embarrassed."
It's a territory war.
Oh yeah, this is my turf. These are my females.
That's right.
And my friend that was talking to all the girls stood up, and one of my other friends went over there and wanted to pants him right in front of everybody. Right?
Oh, he was he knew that embarrassment.
Oh yeah,
is not a thing a human wants to.
No,
So he was like, I'm going to
He's like,
embarrass
I'm
him.
going to intentionally
I'm going to embarrass him. Let him
So
feel it.
he went over. Instead of just getting pants, he got pants and underwear.
Both
of them. Boom. Right off.
I also want to mention that Brady has done this to me
In
college.
This is false. No, we took your clothes and made you walk back from the shower.
This was the second incident.
In the dorms.
We'll tell that later.
But it is what it is.
So dude got
embarrassed in front of everybody.
Dude was naked.
Oh, I mean, all the way down to his cheeks.
That makes my story I don't feel as bad now because it could have ripped my underwear off as well.
That would have been awful.
Can't
have a 6'4" or 6'4" fourth grader.
I probably was. Man, that would have just been bad. No one wants that.
No, not at all. I mean, like you said, no one wants to be embarrassed in front of their peers.
No one wants it, especially at a young age when you're sensitive and awkward.
So I was gonna ask, if you had to go back and change one moment in your life, what would you change? Because I mean, an embarrassing moment. Would you waste that one chance to change one moment on an embarrassing moment like that?
Normally, I would say I would go back and change it to because that was embarrassing. But I kind of feel like embarrassment kind of helps a person grow.
You need to have it.
You need to have it. If you don't, you end up like one of those kids in your mom's basement. And you don't do anything. You feel entitled.
You're
sheltered.
You're sheltered. You're a little baby.
You need to fail at things. You need to be uncomfortable.
Yeah. You have to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
That's right.
And
the only way to do that
is to fail. Is to get embarrassed.
And be uncomfortable.
That's what happens. I mean, that's what I think our generation gets a bad rap. Because I feel like we're like the perfect middle ground.
That's right.
Because like we get adults classify us as new generation, like it's kind of like they're technology driven. They don't have little conversations. But
that's not
true. I feel like we're the perfect middle ground
because
we grew up. We grew up when we were little. We were outside playing with our friends at a young age.
Exactly right.
We weren't on our phones on video games all day.
Even I have a younger brother who is 16 now. And I'm almost 4 years older than him. And even though we're not too far apart, you can see the way he grows up.
What he had growing up.
And the way I grew up. I mean, it was every day after school.
I mean, you didn't want to touch your homework. Mom would be like, do your homework. You're like, no, I'm going outside and playing with my dudes.
Until dinner time.
And then
you go right back out.
You still be late to dinner.
And you go right back out.
Oh, for sure.
You
go right
play
back
until
out.
nighttime. Come take a shower and go to bed.
Yeah.
Now
kids nowadays are stuck inside playing games all day, playing Fortnite. It's ridiculous. This is why the next generation is just gonna be a bunch of pansies.
And that's when I hate when people group us all into like you're technology, like always on your phone, because that is not true.
That's not us.
We grew up,
but see, like
so much differently than,
and we had a perfect childhood because it was like we didn't have that growing up, so we had the same experiences as the older people did.
That's right.
We went outside, we had played, we did all that normal kid stuff.
Right.
And then when we hit like our teenagers, that's when more technology came. That's when like social medias became really popular. That's when
I remember like when iPhones like iPhones came out.
Yeah.
And then iPods and all that stuff.
Remember when the what was it called? A Razor, like the flip phone? Everybody had a Razor.
I remember my grandma had that phone. And
I didn't have one. It was so sad.
Telling my dad and my mom when I was like, when I get a phone one day, I want that phone because that was the hottest phone. Yeah. That was the hottest phone out. The Motorola.
Motorola
Razor, man. It was sharp, dude. It was so sharp. Well, what age were you when you got a phone?
I feel like I got a phone earlier than everybody else did.
What year is that?
I feel like I had a phone probably around the age of like maybe 6, 7. I feel maybe it. I don't think
kind of early.
I feel like it was 6 or 7. But my mom and dad are always really super protective.
Yeah, so they
always need to know where I'm at, and it doesn't help that I'm an only child.
And what was your first phone? Do you remember?
God, probably some brick flip phone, probably some trash old piece of junk. But I remember one phone I had. It was one of those the phones that slid sideways and it came up with the long keyboard.
That was my first
Those
one too,
phones were the stuff.
Mine was called the LG Cosmos Touch, man.
How do you still know that whole name?
It had because I remember I was so excited for it. I got my first phone when
Cosmos.
I was in, I believe, going into 7th grade. Is when I got my first phone. Yeah, so up until then, man, I was phoneless. So
I feel yeah.
But even back then,
like how old are you in like the 4th, 5th grade? You got it. Because I feel like I had a phone back then, but I never was like on it.
4th and 5th grade, I would say you're around 10.
I definitely had a phone in the 4th
I'd
grade. I think definitely did. But
yeah, which is I knew people that did. That's not really uncommon.
I feel like when I was young, I don't know why, but I feel like I had one of those stupid phones that only thing you could do was call 911. Your parents.
Those track phones.
Yeah, I feel like that's all I had.
Yeah,
when I was super little, I feel like I had one of those.
Yeah, and that's cool. To be honest,
I haven't got a new phone in a long time.
Now,
my mom still rocks the iPhone 6.
Really?
I don't know how the hell it works.
You know that battery life is...
Dude, she literally, I mean, it's every day. I call her. She's like, I call her like 6 times. She's like, my phone didn't ring. I'm like, Ma, what if I was dying?
Because
what if I needed help?
To tell you to get a new phone.
Yeah, Apple's like, hey, lady, go get yourself a new phone.
It's time now.
It's time.
It's time.
You got to get rid of it. Now,
kids nowadays are also getting their first phone. My brother's first phone, for example, it was an iPhone.
First phone, an iPhone. That's wild. See, it's ridiculous. They don't get to enjoy the cartoons we got to enjoy.
That's right, man.
They don't get to do any of that.
I remember you as well worked at a daycare. We didn't work at the same daycare, but we worked at a daycare.
The YMCA.
I was at my old church's daycare. That's right, man. Live free. So anyway, I remember some of the kids were in... My room was from kindergarten to 5th grade.
See, I wish I worked with the younger kids. I had like teens.
They were 90% younger kids. There was only 2 5th graders.
See, like, I worked it was like a summer camp, so it was like
you did.
So it was like there was younger kids there, younger groups, but I was with like the 11 to 14-year-olds.
Yeah,
and that's like
so
I never realized.
I bet they had a mouth on them, man.
Oh, one they had mouths, and 2 I was like. There's no way I was this annoying as a teenager.
No way.
There's no way.
I'm telling you, it's how we grew up, man. It's different.
I'm like,
I bet we were not. I bet we weren't disrespectful.
No,
because kids nowadays are atrocious.
I mean, we were raised so humble.
So humble, man.
You can't now. It's ridiculous.
At the daycare, I mean, I guess it's kind of my fault because they are young.
I love working with younger kids, though.
I love them. They're so
kids,
sweet. Very sweet.
That young age, I like 7-year-old, around 7-year-old.
Yeah.
That age is a good age.
And some of the kids who were older, kind of older, and could have actual intellectual conversations.
Yes.
They would talk about movies, and I love movies, so
you're a movie connoisseur.
Love
it.
So I was like, they'd sometimes be like, oh, you see this movie, and I'm like, yeah, that was a really good movie. I love for example, I'd be like, oh, I love Steve Carell.
Yeah.
And then they're like, who's that?
Who? Yeah, they're like, who?
And then I'll say,
it's weird because we're not that old. You're 20. Yeah. I'm 19.
And I look at it and I'm like, what? And I'm like, I gotta think you're 11.
Yeah. it's really wild to think that that we can talk to kids nowadays and show our age, and we're not even in our 20s really. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, I'm like, you guys never watched Ed, Edd n Eddy?
Yeah.
You guys didn't watch Courage the Cowardly Dog?
Yeah, and I'm like, yo,
what are you talking about?
They'll be like, oh, what'd you watch when you're young? And I'm like, oh, man, I used to watch a show called Cat Dog, man. They're like
what is that?
What is that? I watched The Loud House.
I watched Jesse.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm like,
what?
Some of the kids don't even know what SpongeBob was.
That's ridiculous. You know SpongeBob was originally supposed to be an adult TV show?
That's right. And let me tell you what, to this day, hilarious.
I don't care what age you are.
I don't care what age you are.
If you tell me you don't like SpongeBob, we might not be friends.
I might as well be saying I don't like puppies. Because it's around that same caliber.
See, I'm a cat guy.
Or kitties.
I am a cat guy.
You know?
I think cats are so much
Any little cute animal.
Cats are so much easier to deal with than dogs. And I don't care what anybody else says. You can argue with me all day. I'm not going to lose. Cats are so much easier.
I'm a dog guy, but dogs are a lot of work.
They're a lot of work. You got to take them out. Cats got a litter box.
Cats are more independent.
You can literally leave a cat for like a week. And
they'll be fine.
They'll be Gucci.
They'll get their food.
They got their water. They got their food.
And
sleep.
People have outdoor cats. You know what I mean? So they're just roaming free.
I've never personally had an outdoor cat. All my cats been inside cats.
Yeah, one of our neighbors years ago, before they moved,
I always get so sad.
Had an outdoor cat.
I always see a cat run across the street. I'm like, ugh.
But they're happy, man. That's their
cats are always they mind their own business.
They're happy that way.
But then when it comes time to cuddle, they can cuddle.
They can cuddle.
They can cuddle.
Now, and when I'm back to the kids, and when I hear the kids say kind of stuff about being uncultured within things that you should just know about, whether it's like TV shows like that are so iconic, and I almost think that's embarrassing.
It is, but
I know as
you got to think to them.
They don't know any better.
Because they don't know any different.
That is true. They don't know any better.
That's the same thing. Like my dad. If I bring a friend over, my dad is such a he'll be like you he'll talk about Star Wars. He'll talk about the Terminator. He'll talk about all those movies, and they'll be like, I've never seen this or I've never seen that, and he's like, Are you kidding me? Do you live in a cave? And I'm like, Dad, you're an 80s. You like watching stuff from the 80s. You like music from the 80s. But my friends aren't from the 80s. They're not going to know.
But that's just how he grew up, though.
That is how he grew up. So that's how we are with these kids.
That is true.
How do you not know what this is?
But even media back in the day, for example, one of the most watched shows even now is Friends.
Friends, yeah.
That came out in the 90s. And
everybody
may have been late 80s, I don't know, and it still passes on to our generation. But I think now, for the generation below us, things are kind of just stopping.
Yeah,
is what I kind of feel like.
Underrated TV show, The Ranch.
If you haven't seen The Ranch, I recommend you go watch it.
Very good. Very good.
If you're a fan of that 70s show, which most people are,
there's a ton of actors and actresses in that.
It is everyone in it except Donna and Eric, and what's her name? Who was I have
a confession. I don't watch that 70s show that much.
That's okay, but you know about it though.
But I do know about it.
You know about it because it's just one of those things that you just know, you know that 70s show, and everything. Now, Brady, what are some embarrassing moments between us and our friends back at school?
Oh God!
Because I know there's some. Some are really bad.
I don't even know if they're suitable for air.
They may not. Now,
I will tell them one story, and it does involve you.
I think I know something good.
And I know you know what I'm going to say.
Is it the shower?
No.
Okay, we can tell that one though too, because
you can speak on that one.
Okay, I'll tell that one.
This one,
also big deal.
This one's great. So, we're collegiate athletes. We both play basketball. Well, Matt used to. He's not on the team this year, unfortunately. But
save that for another time.
Yeah, but he played last year. So we were at a practice.
Oh God! Oh God!
We're at a practice and we're running through our warm up drills. Just getting ready for practice in general, just warming our bodies up. And we're going through this drill. And Matt is in front of me in the line. And I remember we ran through it a couple times. We keep getting back in line. And Matt runs up in line. And every time Matt is running through this drill with his hand in his shirt, pulling his shirt away from his chest. And I'm watching this whole time. I'm like, what the hell is Matt doing? Why is his hand in his shirt? I'm so confused. I'm just watching. And he's catching the ball one-handed with his hand in his shirt. And I'm like, he's
so serious.
He's laying it up like this with his hand in his shirt. I'm like, what's going on? And I'm just watching it. I didn't say anything. And I'm just right behind him, just watching. Then coach comes over and he's like, Matt, what the hell is your problem? What's wrong with you? And he's like,
and I feel compelled to tell them what was happening.
Wait. Let me get to the story. Let me finish. So he was like, Coach,
and it got to the point where I couldn't handle it. It was they were chafing so bad and burning so bad. I couldn't let my shirt even like touch my chest. So, I was holding my shirt and then my coach was kind of looking at me. I noticed him looking at me, and in my head I was like, please don't say anything. like I'm a freshman in college basketball, NCAA. I'm, so I was like, please don't say anything, coach. Come on now, please don't. And then he was like, Palma, like, what's going on? And then and at this point, I remember him looking at me, and I looking back at him, and I was like, do I like?
You tell him?
And it just came out. My nipples were on fire.
That's why he stuttered. He was like, Coach, my nipples are on fire. And his
reaction was like a deer in headlights. And I took care of it. Every day for practice, I got my nipple shields and, carried on with my life. So that's how that story went. And now back on the other one that I mentioned. So
talking about, you took the shower?
The shower incident.
Yeah.
So one time after practice.
I'm excited.
I'm sure. Back in the dorms, I'm taking a shower, just, doing my thing. And I pull the shower curtain back, and, my clothes are gone. My change of clothes are gone. And of course it's Brady and the other people on the team. Not even in our locker room. This is the dorms. And we live on a co-ed floor. So it's boys and girls on the floor. And I'm in the shower, I don't even have my towel. I don't think I had.
Took your towel.
I had nothing, so I'm just sitting there.
There was absolutely nothing. We took his clothes, we took his socks, we took his underwear, we took his shorts, his shirt, his towel.
Everything is gone. And I'm just like, wow, of course, here we go. And they would come in periodically in the locker room and be like, yo, Palma,
what's up?
Come out here, like, what's going on? And I'm like, yo, give me my clothes. And then they would, every few minutes, keep in mind, this is already like 30 minutes into the bathroom. I'm just sitting there, just wet. And then they would bring me pieces of my clothing that I did not need. I brought
him a hat.
And they would bring me like a sock or like my necklace or like my bracelet I was wearing, or it's everything. They brought like my glasses that I wore.
We did bring glasses.
And I was like, nothing held me. And you finally brought me a shirt. You finally brought my shirt.
We did bring you a shirt.
And I remember having this on video as well. Of course it is. What would you expect of me walking back to my dorm?
Literally nothing but your shirt.
Literally nothing but my shirt. And of course I'm being like cackled at. And like,
what's wild? That happened to you. And I watched people walk down that hallway almost butt naked every single day. But I got written up for having my shirt off in the hallway at 7 a.m. on a Saturday.
So in our dorms, you can't, of course, like it's like a dorm rule. Like you have to be like clothed. Like, you have to keep your shirt on, all that stuff. Like, but people on our floor, didn't care. So, the girls would walk back to the room just in a towel, and the guys would walk out, just, towel around them, naked, I walked back naked because I had no choice.
You did walk back butt naked.
I was naked. And Brady, on a Saturday morning at 7 a.m. walked. He wasn't even out of his dorm. He walked. I literally opened
my door.
He was in a sense, he was basically in his door frame.
I was getting ready to walk to the bathroom.
Right when he does that, our RA walks by, and Brady got clapped with a write up, and he had to go. You had to go to a meeting.
I did with the residence life, like the head of residence life. She was like, I know people do it. Like, just make sure you don't do it again. And I was like, are you kidding?
Yeah, whatever.
I wasted my time coming to this.
Waste of time.
I was like, this is ridiculous. It was. Yeah.
That's right. I don't think anything. We've done the close thing again. It hasn't happened to me again.
No,
thank God. But we've done to other people, and it's fun.
Remember,
it's fun when it's not you.
During Christmas break. We're here alone on campus because we're basketball players and we don't get really a Christmas break.
Because basketball is a winter sport. I'm sure.
Yes. So like we don't.
You're from America, you know that.
We don't leave campus really. We get like
everyone's
a week off maybe if that.
We got 6 days,
4, 5, 6 days. Yeah. So we don't.
We're the only kids.
Like the only people on
campus.
It's
the girls team and the boys team. Yeah. Are the only people at school.
Like we were just messing around with each other in the dorms, like wild,
and
it's so funny.
And we got in trouble because we forgot that classes started in a few days, so people were starting to come back.
Oh my gosh!
And we were running around and playing
just like any and everything.
Essentially, like so a manhunt, like
it was so loud
in the hallways of the school, and
literally like just
ended up getting in trouble for that as well.
Yeah, it's pretty silly,
but that happens. It's all in fun, all in fair game.
I wanted to ask you this question too, because I've been thinking about it. I know your music genre is pretty. You got a good taste in music. You're very well rounded. You like Eminem, you like country, you like old 80s music.
That's right.
You're all over the place.
That is right.
If you had to pick one era to live in, what is it?
It's easy. The 80s, man.
The 80s? You pick the 80s?
I'd say around that area. Anytime, if it's not the 80s, I'm picking the 70s. If it's not then.
Yeah, I feel like I want to go back. Like not like.
You want to go to a simpler time.
Like I'm not like Western, like put them up. But
you want to go to
I'm thinking maybe 60s, 70s. 60s and 70s is a good time. I'm thinking maybe 60s more. Because that's when guys would take girls out on dates. They would drive their nice old classic cars. They'd go to drive-ins. They'd go get milkshakes. I feel like that'd be fun. People always went to the malls. I feel like that was something that'd be fun. You're not on your phones all the time.
There were no cell phones.
No cell phones.
So
you kind of just got to enjoy life.
There were handwritten sentiments,
Yeah.
That would be a much simpler time, a time that I would like to go to as well. Because I feel like nowadays, everything's. I'm not gonna act like I don't like technology.
Oh, I love
because
technology.
I do like technology.
I love technology.
We can't do this without technology.
You couldn't do anything without technology. I'd be screwed. You think how would I would never do math. You and I are both
that's right.
Math stupid, stupid.
I watched this thing the other day. It was on TV, and I forget what it was called, but I never thought about it until I heard it. He was talking about essentially technology now is almost a necessity, especially with college. If you don't have internet access
you're screwed. You can't do anything.
You really can't.
If you didn't have any internet, I would not be able to do any of my assignments.
We did our homework today, man. It was all digital. Everything's digital.
It's ridiculous.
So
how much we
it's
rely
almost
on the internet.
So I'm not gonna act like I don't like technology, but sometimes I feel like there's come to a point where it's too much.
I think this is a hot take, maybe an unpopular opinion, but I think technology and the internet in general has ruined
people. I think it's ruined people. Oh, that's a popular opinion with me too.
Yeah, I think it's just I don't know. I feel like it's brought so much divide and so much hatred between everybody.
And I'm sure you know too, especially with stuff that can be put over the internet or any
it ruins people's
social
lives.
Media platform. It can also be misconstrued and taken.
Yes, because you can't. It's not your own words. People repost videos all the time with their own captions. It's that's not what that person said. Maybe that was it was a snippet of a video.
Exactly.
And, you don't get to see the whole story. It gives that person a whole bad rep.
Bad rep, and then it's how media travels now. If you get that bad rep, you're ruined. You're truly ruined. Your name is.
People are stupid enough. One bad thing on social media, stop you from getting a whole job.
That's right. So, or in an athletic point of view, I'm sure
can't get recruited. You can't get scholarships.
As you're being recruited, if you haven't been recruited for for a collegiate sport.
Like, you can't even like or retweet things that have cuss words in them.
Media is so huge in the sense of your image as an athlete or your image as, because at that point you don't just represent you represent your school
And your team.
and that comes down on your
family,
coach and that comes down to your family and your teammates and all that. So and we get that. Our coach gives us that lesson every year, and as you're being recruited, that's the part of the biggest thing they talk about is being smart on social media, because there's been millions of stories, not about millions, but
tons
about people that were huge at and ruined their life
because of social media.
There was this one. He was like Division I like recruit, man, and he posted some thing on like Twitter, I think, and he had like two guns in his hand, and it was like
ruined it.
They were like his uncle's guns or something, and they weren't loaded or anything, but he was just holding them, and every scholarship he had was pulled from him. Just because I
think it's crazy.
You don't want that. Like that image for your school, like that's my guy. Like he's holding the Glocks up. So that's huge.
Well, I think it's crazy that since I'm a crim major, the background checks take like a year.
Mm-hmm.
They go. I knew one person that went in for a job interview at a criminal job, and they were like, "Why were you late to an exam your 8th grade year?" He was like 23.
Really?
What the hell do you say to that? Like, my mom couldn't take me. I don't know.
Yeah. What do you? At that point, I don't know. I don't remember.
I have no clue. It was 8th grade. 23 years old.
Right. But
what do you say to that?
That stuff is all recorded somewhere.
It's ridiculous how far they can go back.
And I'm sure you've heard that thing. I'm sure your parents have told you too. Like when they say once it's online, like even though you like delete it, like
it's still there.
It's still there.
Like everything you do leaves a digital footprint.
And if people wanted to, some people can find that.
My God, so it's crazy.
And it'll spread like wildfire. It's absolute wildfire. So like I'm sure like that dude, I just assume like he's an athlete. He probably had a decent amount of followers. So like people saw his post,
especially if he was going D1.
And then people like share their post.
Yeah.
People retweet it, and then next thing you know,
people nowadays got burner accounts. You don't know who's who.
That's right. And next thing you know,
ever heard that thing about Kevin Durant? Like he had a whole other account was commenting on stuff about Kevin Durant. Like, you never know who's got what.
Next thing you know, it got back to the coach, and then so it's not the smartest thing to do is just. Keep it clean.
Keep it clean.
Keep it clean. You don't want to be
peachy.
Keep it peachy, man. You don't want to be known for for that kind of deal.
Not at all. But on another note, I know we've talked about it. I don't know if you guys have seen it. I'm pretty sure it's been taken off the internet at this point. That video of that guy jumping out that building.
Oh my!
It was like, he was up there. He jumped out and he hit the ground, and his legs and arms exploded. But like he was like alive and perfectly fine.
That kind of stuff is online. That kind of stuff.
Who uploads that? Who's like, this is this is great content.
Who took that video? The guy fell from a building and literally his limbs like
exploded off his body. But
then,
his torso and his head were like perfectly intact.
And then
he probably broke literally every bone in his body.
His arm was gone. His arm was like.
Dude, his legs were like.
Yeah. And then the dude recording was like, "Yeah, this is Twitter stuff right
this
here.
This is gold.
This is gold.
This is gonna make me a good old buck."
That should almost be incriminating.
You think that's wild?
That should, because that's
like there's some things that like the world just like does not need to see.
Right.
And that might be
he wasn't
like the same people that wanted to storm Area 51. Like you're going to die. Like you're going to get shot. Like there's no other. Like if you storm Area 51, like the government will literally shoot you.
You will be killed.
Like,
and then people are like, "Oh no, I'm going in there and I'm going to see what they got."
Well, like the guy who did it.
If you get anywhere near that place.
Probably got turrets pop out the
sand,
like boom, boom, boom.
They got dudes buried in the sand,
They probably got mines. You're ruined. You're not getting close.
You're not getting anywhere.
You're not even getting within like a 400 yards.
But then it blows up on social media, and people are like, "Oh, let's gather a bunch of people." Like,
there are really stupid people in the world that probably I don't know if the date's already passed, but like there's probably stupid people, if the date has already passed or if it hasn't, that are going to show up, that are going to believe it. It's like, you know what? This is the day. Like, we're going to figure it out. Like, no. You're going to get shot. You're going to die.
You know, some dudes, man, like, hey, buddy, you know, this is the day we're going to storm Area 51. This is the day we're going to... Hey,
you're
Bo.
Going to end up in the ground.
You will. Without, like
the government doesn't want you to know what's in there. You know what? I don't even know if I want to know.
They've already been into some shady business. We all know that. It's not a secret. So they got no problem taking you out.
I don't even know if I want to know what's in Area 51.
I don't. I feel like
there's some crazy stuff in
because
there. Like, it's going to like rock the whole world.
There's a reason why
you don't know.
They're not talking about it, or there's a reason why they're not. You know, they don't want you to know what's in there, and they do
probably for our best interest.
And they do a good job.
Yeah, it's probably our best interest
because people don't even know where that is, really.
Yeah,
you know, and that's to me that's also kind of that's embarrassing. You know, it's like we have all these conspiracy. First of all, which I love.
I love conspiracy.
I get into that, and I believe some of it, and some it's just
We will talk about conspiracies. Another day.
Absolutely,
but
because that's deep.
Just know. This man believes in the dumbest stuff ever. Like, I mean the dumbest stuff. Like the stuff that's like literally not even physically possible. I don't even want to talk about it right now. But like, there's no way. Like 99.9% of the stuff that he believes in is even possible.
But would you consider Area 51 a conspiracy?
It's not a conspiracy
because it's real. It exists. But what about the stuff
that's in it?
Do you think there's aliens in there? Just flat out.
I do think that there is extraterrestrial items and things. I don't know if we're whole aliens. But like, if we are, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen and heard. Like, imagine like, what if like, I don't think they look. If there are aliens, I don't think they look like what we think they look like. I don't think they're green little Martians. I don't agree with that. I think they look like us.
There's stories where people say they've seen aliens and people say they look like humans.
I think they look exactly like us. But maybe they've got the ability to change shape, to change into different things. Yeah.
Like into our environment.
Yeah. Like, I think.
Maybe you pass.
What if you walk into Area 51 and they've got aliens working the food court?
And we would never know. It's all part of the plan.
Just know if I'm storming Area 51, like, I'm taking an alien.
I feel like we'd have to.
You go in there and get nothing.
All right.
Take some alien slime, like some goop.
If I'm risking my life
taking some goop
to break into Area 51, I'm leaving with a souvenir.
I'm taking goop. I want some alien goop.
That's right. I'm taking
like a suitcase of goop.
A dirt off the floor, if anything. Just came from Area 51. You don't got to believe it. I was there. I knew. Take a selfie.
You believe me? I got some goop.
That's right.
I'm going to frame it, put it in a box. I got some goop. You ain't got goop. I got goop.
Now, that is... I read this one thing, and it was talking about how... Maybe it was you and I read that. It was about how people believe that the government knows about extraterrestrial life.
Yeah.
And are planning on getting the human race ready to take it all in. Like,
what? Think about this.
Was it you that told me that?
It's probably. What if... Now, if one day, if there's life outside of this, outside of the Earth, which I believe there is, there's no way we're the only living creatures in the world.
Without a doubt.
There's no way. Like, it's literally impossible.
There's more life out there, easily.
But there will be a day where people on Earth reproduce with aliens. What is that going to look like?
Maybe it'll make a perfect human being. Maybe our binary code will mix in with their
alienness. With their goop.
That just creates
their goop and our goop.
That creates a perfect,
make some good goop.
Flawless human. Maybe cancer curing. Who knows? I don't know.
Cancer curing goop?
I don't know, man. It's a lot to think about.
It's gonna be a wild first day in history.
But that thing said that someone, I think it was some guy, he said he worked at the government, but this is also makes me kind of skeptical.
I think I've seen this.
And he said something like, there are aliens at Area 51. We know about them.
I'm pretty sure he worked at Area 51.
And he said that they're friends with the people that know about them. They're human friendly. And he said that he even gave us like a timeline.
I bet aliens are beautiful. I think they're probably beautiful human
That's
beings.
what the story said. He said they look like flawless people. He said he said they're tall. He said they don't have a blemish on their face.
Oh, I need an alien girl.
He said like they have like he said the dudes had like blonde hair and it was like perfectly done hair. Now
I can't have no tall girl. I need a short alien. Do they have short aliens? Because I can't have no tall alien girlfriend.
They can adjust. They can adjust.
You knock a few inches off. I mean, you may be. You think it'd be pretty tall, but like,
an alien.
You'd be a little short one.
Now, that guy said that he even said like a little timeline. He was like, I don't remember exactly. He was like, by this time, you will see something on the news about heavy UFO sightings or whatever. And then he was like, and then by this time, the government will find like evidence of aliens being, whether it's like it was like weapons or whether it's like part of a ship or whatever. Then he said, and then there'll be so many of those until it's to the point where like the government's like aliens do exist, and then the humans will take that in, and then it'll get to the point where the government will discover an alien.
I want to be alive,
and then they'll introduce themselves to the humans.
Like I want to be alive for it.
I do too, because if that's huge.
But like the thing
it's kind of scary to think about, though.
It's so scary.
Like what if you walk by one today? You would.
Speaking of walking by people, they say you walk by like multiple like serial killers in your life.
Oh yeah,
which is ridiculous.
And secret agents. You said you walk past
which is
like 5 or something.
Like unbelievable. The fact that like I'm walking next to somebody who's killed more than 3 people.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah, if I'm walking next to Ted Bundy and I don't know, I'm gonna feel really bad.
I would feel bad as well.
I could have took him out right there and been an American hero.
Dude, they always look like normal people, man. Was it
Ted Bundy was like
good-looking guy,
handsome dude. All the ladies loved him.
You looked at him. No way. I think that man eats
funny?
People. Never think
he's
that.
Stupid. Ted Bundy's stupid. You know why? The only reason they caught him was because of his bite mark. Get some better teeth, dude.
Come on, Jeffrey, man.
I mean, like.
If you're gonna do that,
Ted Bundy. That's Ted Bundy had the messed up teeth, and he bit that girl in that sorority, and that's how they got him.
And they were like, "Smile for
like,
me, Jeffrey."
Go like that, Ted. Go like that, Ted. Gotcha. But like, oh my God, this is literally when we watched that documentary, right? I mean, I knew like I said, I'm a crim major, so like I love watching criminal documentaries.
That's right.
But when I watched this documentary on Ted Bundy, when I knew a lot about him, but it honed my knowledge of him. Pretty ridiculous that back then states didn't share information across lines. So like people in Oregon had no idea what the hell was going on in Florida.
So
when he went, he literally, oh my God, it's the dumbest story. It's like. It's beyond me. Not only I'm going to give you a bunch of reasons why Ted Bundy's the dumbest human being of all time. Drove the same damn bug, the stupid yellow bug, his whole life. Drove the same one. Like you think you've been caught so many times that damn bug, you'd be like, maybe I should switch it up. Maybe a different color in the bug.
If you still want the bug,
still get the bug, but get it in blue. I mean, he's been rocking the yellow bug his whole life. I mean, people know to look out for the yellow bug.
That's his trademark.
So he's got the stupid yellow bug that he just constantly drives. Bites people with some messed up teeth. Like that's one of one. Like there's no one else in the world's got that messed up bite.
He's leaving his mark.
Like 3. I don't understand. Like when he went all the way down to Florida and killed those girls in that sorority. Mm-hmm. The police down there, this is when he started to get real at large. It's like
he was national news.
They knew him a little bit, but they still didn't share information across state lines. So they didn't really know him that well.
So if he essentially,
but they still knew
state,
that
he was free reign now.
Yeah, but they still know Ted Bundy. Some people still knew Ted Bundy. Like law enforcement still knew Ted Bundy.
But they didn't know that.
But they literally pulled him over. And he was in the stupid yellow bug. And the only thing, they're like, what's your name? He's like, I'm not telling you. And they're like, all right. He's identical to what he looks like. The only thing that was different, he parted his hair to the other side.
Oh, dude, that's
and people were like, "Who the hell is this mystery guy?" No one knew.
That's like plastic surgery, man.
Even like after, like, I just don't understand. People were like, "Oh my god, like who is this mystery guy?" Like, it's Ted Bundy. He just moved his hair to the other side. It's not rocket science.
Don't you just love our world we live in?
I don't understand this. Like, how stupid are you? Like, he's driving the same bug. Get a different color.
That's right. And that's embarrassing. That's the crazy That's part. Embarrassing. If you ask me, that's the most embarrassing thing is our own government.
Sometimes stuff is just really wild.
You know, we can figure that out. Yeah. But this is America's best.
The back then.
Yeah, it was different.
It was way different. Nowadays, I mean, the dude wasn't even made it past the first murder.
Oh my gosh, no. Nowadays.
But like, it's still like, I don't care what time age, like what time it falls in. Like, if it falls back in time or falls in the future, like, the dude's driving the same car and looks identical. How?
So you kind of
just Ted Bundy. Yellow bug, same human being.
The bug.
Different state.
But he had different hair, man.
Oh, yeah, he just flipped the hair the other side. I mean, it's impossible.
It's not him.
I mean, like,
he just like
if I take my hat off right now, people might not know who I am.
I would know you.
I mean, maybe I'm Thomas Brady and not Brady Thomas.
That's right. Well, Brady, this was a good conversation. It was
amazing.
It was a good one.
It was a good opener.
It was a good opener,
just getting friendly with the peeps out there that's watching the podcast.
That's right.
We'll be here every Monday.
Every Monday. So I want to thank you all for joining us here in Peachy Conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
And have a good one.
Yep. Peace out, boys and girls.